closing the door on their 66th spring training in Clearwater, we applaud some of the up-and-coming youngsters that have established themselves. Lou Montiez, Freddie Galvis, and Hector Luna have all made an impact and have the chance to make the trip north to Philadelphia. The Kitty Corps have helped to temporarily blunt the losses of established veterans due to injury. Today, opening day starter Roy Halladay bids farewell to Bright House Field as he takes on the Blue Jays, with whom he started his career. One more time from Clearwater, Florida. It's the final home game for the Phillies here at Bright House Field. Another sold-out crowd to cap off what has been a spectacular spring here in Clearwater. The Blue Jays are in town to take on the Phillies. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy along with Chris Wheeler. Happy to be with you one more time from Clearwater, Florida. Tomorrow it's off to Orlando, and then it's back to Philadelphia for 2 games against the Pittsburgh Pirates. All right, let's do a little recapping from spring training. We got some guys that turned some heads. Now, whether they'll make the team or not, some have, others may not, but they've really opened up some eyes.
Well, some competition this year, Tom, that normally wouldn't be here because of the injuries that the Phillies have had. It's firstly at first and second base. Some guys with some major league experience in camp, like a guy like Hector Luna, a valuable player. It seems like every time he came up and had to get a big hit, he'd win a game for the Phillies. He's done that a lot. Freddie Galvis, one of the surprises of spring training, that he was able to hit as well as he did, and also to move over and play second base. This is a guy who's a shortstop, and now everything changes when you go and play second. He has been very good. He may open the season there. Lou Montañez played with the Chicago Cubs a little bit last year, also had some major league experience, a guy they can look at, they could plug in if they had to, if they have any more problems during the season. Spring has sprung. Well, here's the record. You know, 1-loss record, not that big a deal with the 3 ties, and none of those numbers jump out, except maybe the home runs, and I don't know whether that's unexpected or not. You expect to hit more home runs in spring training because the wind's blowing. Like today, the wind's blowing out a ton here today. You would think there would be some home runs, but maybe it means the Phillies are not going to hit a whole lot of home runs anywhere this year.
All right, well, their ERA has gotten higher as the last few days have moved on. They're hoping that that's lower once the season rolls around. Also, they still have questions going in to the 2012 season.
Yeah, it's been a very interesting spring training for that reason. As we said, they didn't necessarily want it to be this way, but that has what happened. Ryan Howard out indefinitely. We know that. So who's going to be at first base? Well, Jim Thome has played very well over there. Could be a variety of guys. Wigginton could play over there. Nix, Mayberry, Chase Utley out. Freddie Galvis, he's moved in to play second base. A lot of candidates in left field, starting with Juan Pierre all of a sudden has come out of nowhere to get some at-bats. The bullpen makeup, we'll see what happens there. A lot of it, I think, has to do with the health of the guys, Tom.
No question about that. Jim Thome has shown that he's been very healthy this spring. That's a good thing.
Well, I don't think anybody could have expected Jim to do the things that he's done all spring. He's hit a lot of hard doubles to left center field, right center field, hard outs. And this is the thing right here. They didn't know if he could play first base at all this year. And now they're thinking, well, you know, we may be able to use him over at that position. That was a tremendous play he made on that ball hit down the line in the game the other day against the Rays.
And he came out the next day and said he felt fine. That's the good news. So the Phillies, one more day here at Bright House Field. What a pitching matchup. This is like an opening day matchup. Roy Halladay on the mound for the Phillies, and he'll be opposed by left-hander Ricky Romero for the Toronto Blue Jays. Well, the grounds crew putting the finishing touches on not only the field, but also what has turned out to be a great spring training. One more time, the lineups and first pitch when we return to Clearwater. Field for this afternoon's ball game between the Phillies and the Toronto Blue Jays. Why not? It's been that way all spring long. In fact, the Phillies are going to run their course of games here in Clearwater. It's going to be a sellout every single day, and it's been that kind of spring. It's been that kind of run, of course, for the team, and obviously it will continue into the 2012 regular season. Let's take a look at the Blue Jays starting lineup. What a spring they've had. It's brought to you by Xfinity only from Comcast. Leading it off at shortstop is Yunel Escobar. Kelly Johnson bats second, followed by Jose Bautista and Edwin Encarnacion. Eric Thames is in left field. Brett Lowry is at third base. J.P. Arancibia will bat seventh. Colby Rasmus eighth. And Jeff Mathis ninth. And they'll face former Blue Jay Roy Halladay. And Halladay making his final tune-up before opening day against the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Right when the Phillies are in Pittsburgh for opening day on Thursday. Of course, Roy Halladay will be on the mound for the Phils. And well, you know, it's pretty nice when you have Halladay, Lee, and Hamels, and you say, well, all three of them could be opening day starters somewhere else in Major League Baseball, and you got them all right here. Here's our scouting report on. We leave that in there all the time. Intensity, even in these games down here. And now, does he turn it up a little bit when he faces the Blue Jays? Well, you know, with Roy Halladay, he's always turned up.
His velocity has been good these last few outings, which I know there was a question about that, not in Roy's mind, but from some scouts who were watching him behind home plate. He'll face Yunel Escobar to start things off. Escobar, 290 last year, 245 this spring.
Wind is blowing out a ton here today to all fields. This is one of those days you hit it in the air, you can hit it out anywhere.
Yeah, there's some storms in the area, and they're hoping that the storms go north and don't venture on top of Clearwater.
Yeah, there's stuff out in the Gulf right now, and there is a chance we could get some of it, or as Tom says, he could go north.
0-2 the count to Escobar. Off balance, fly ball to right center. 3 pitches, 1 away. All 3 pitches strikes.
They got him on a curveball there. And just that little weak fly ball blows all the way out to Pence. That'll give you some idea of what the conditions are going to be like.
Halladay last year won 19 games for the Phillies. At some point this year, he'll reach 200 wins. He'll enter the season with 188 victories. And it's going to be neat to watch him over the next handful of years to see if he could reach that cherished mark of 300 wins.
He said, who was Maddox, right? Greg Maddox was the last one.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people have felt no one's ever going to win 300 games again.
Kelly Johnson, the batter, and he fouls it away. It's 1-2.
How about Jamie Moyer?
At the age of 49. Will be the number 2 starter for the Rockies when they take on the Houston Astros.
That is pretty neat. Nice going. Congratulations, Jamie.
Swing and a miss. He got Kelly Johnson. Johnson won't even bother to go to first. Ruiz will throw it down there. 2 outs.
Roy Halladay mixing them up. There's that changeup. That's a pitch he was working on a lot during the spring. He got hurt on it a little bit. Wasn't happy with it. Wow. Is that a great 2-strike changeup right there? A hitter's going to have a tough time staying off it or check swinging.
Well, you see his career numbers. 148 of those 188 wins came with the Blue Jays in his 12-year career. And he brushes Jose Bautista.
Bautista hit one a mile off him last year in Toronto. You don't see Halladay do that very often. And then throw him a hook. That was, I respect you. Now, here we go.
Bautista has churned baseball's heads the last 2 years. He has 97 home runs. And he takes just the second ball of the inning from Halladay. 2-1 the count. Oh, he miss. 2-2.
Change up again. Boy, was that a good one. Talk about the bottom falling out.
That one looked like it slipped out of his hand. He's got a heck of a tempo going here in this first inning.
He's pitching Bautista very tough.
Out in front, hooks it foul down the left field line.
Of course, this guy could swing one-handed with the wind blowing the way that it is right now and hit a home run, too. That's how strong he is. And the bat speed he's developed. This guy was bouncing all over Major League Baseball for a long... Anybody could have had him.
And when he was with the Pirates, he was kind of an extra man.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. And another foul ball.
Cutter.
Umpires for today's ball game: Mark Carlson's behind the plate, Eric Cooper at first, Marty Foster at second, and Dan Iasonia around at third. That one's behind home plate and out of play. Phillies are coming off a night game last night against the Yankees in Tampa, and it was a long one.
3 hours and 40 minutes officially.
Yeah.
That's a long exhibition game.
Phillies had a 6-1 lead. Jim Thome was part of that offensively. Towering fly ball deep down the left field line. I think it's going to stay in the yard and stay in fair territory. Whoa, what a play by John Mayberry.
How far that went.
Wow. It's a good thing he's long and lean, because he needed every bit of his length to come up with that ball. That turned out to be a tougher play than John Mayberry thought, and it takes us to the bottom of the first. Bottom of the first, Charlie Manuel's lineup this afternoon. We'll take a look at it. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Little different twist, and Charlie said he's going to keep on trying until he finds what he likes. Leading it off in center field, Shane Victorino, then Placido Polanco and Jimmy Rollins. Hunter Pence is in the 4-hole, followed by Ty Wigginton and John Mayberry. Hector Luna's at second base today. Carlos Ruiz does the catching. Freddie Galvis is the shortstop. He'll bat ninth. And Phillies will face left-hander Ricky Romero, who oftentimes we only get a chance to see in spring training, and he is a wonderful pitcher.
Good changeup, and Phillies have never touched him. You see what he's done in spring training. This guy is quality.
Victorino takes a strike, and it's 0-1. He hasn't given up a run this spring, an earned run this spring.
It's hard to believe in spring training, especially where he pitches in his home park over there in Dunedin. It's so small.
Little number foul. No balls and 2 strikes.
Saw Romero in a game in Toronto last year. He just has really good stuff.
Victorino hitting .297 this spring, a home run and 5 runs batted in. We're seeing more and more of Jimmy Rollins toward the middle of the order.
Yeah, they give
at least the last couple of days.
Yeah, give him a DH shot today, keep him off his feet a little bit after that long night. Carlos Ruiz, you know he wouldn't have played today, but I guess, you know, they want him to catch Roy Halladay, because he was out there a while last night.
The ball just jumped on Victorino. He fouled it away. It stays no balls and 2 strikes.
Romero pitches away a lot with sinker and changeup. He has a little breaking ball too that he'll throw. But his out pitch is a changeup, especially to right-handed hitters.
Out of Los Angeles, California. First ball out of the strike zone. And it's 1-2. Blue Jays rotation has Romero at the front of it, but it's also, it looks like, going to have Kyle Drabek at the back of it. That was not the case at the start of spring training, but Brandon Morrow, not Brandon Morrow, Dustin McGowan is banged up. That ball is bobbled by Laurie, and he's able to recover to throw out Victorino. That's surprising. Yeah, there's one away, I guess because he hit it so hard.
He didn't get out of the box.
He could have slipped out of the box.
He didn't get it real. You know, he's carrying the bat for a step or two coming out of the box. You know, that'll slow you up a little bit. I think he probably thought he had hit a bullet out.
Oh, one gone. Here's Placido Polanco. What an offensive spring Polanco's had. He's 13 for 29. What do you think, Wheels? Can he keep 448 up?
No. Well, a couple weeks, maybe.
That's that one back toward the middle. Johnson shades to his right. 2 outs.
But if Polanco's healthy, you know he's going to hit. Now, he doesn't drive the ball the way he used to. He's not an alleys guy. He may pop one once in a while, but for the most part, he's going to hit singles. But he is a professional hitter.
So 2 ground outs to start the bottom of the first. Here's Jimmy Rollins. Rollins was running well last night.
He was. Been running well all spring. You know, it's
you
such a
mentioned
good
that
sign.
this morning, and it's true. Knock on wood.
Right. Because, you know, you've seen him pull up lame a couple times in the last few years, so you do hold your... It'd be nice to get to the point where you don't think about it anymore when he runs, if that's possible.
That's in for a strike, despite the fact that J.P. Arancibia couldn't hang on to it. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Mentioned that Rollins is finding his way toward the middle of the order a little bit more. Last night, Juan Pierre led off and had 4 hits. And Rollins was in the 3 spot. And there is a good chance, and Charlie has not ruled it out, that they may put Rollins in the 3 hole. 2-2 the count.
Yeah, well, he's their best leadoff man. Now, Pierre, you know, the Juan Pierre we used to know is one of the best leadoff men in the National League in a long time. But is he that player now?
Ground ball to third. It's a high hop for Laurie. Well, he has a really odd style. It's like he's going 1,000 miles an hour when he gets the ball and makes the throw. 5-3 on the putout. 3 groundouts for Romero. 1 of the books. We move on to the 2nd. We go, top of the 2nd. Edwin Encarnacion leads it off against Doc Halladay. Halladay threw 16 pitches in the 1st inning, most of those against Jose Bautista. And Encarnacion slams one deep to left field, and that one is gone. That probably would have been out even with no wind, because that was a bullet. So 1-0 Toronto on the 4th home run of the spring for Encarnacion.
Yeah, these guys have really hit this spring, hit a lot of home runs. That pitch was down, too. It was below his knees, and he hit it like a golf ball. Watch. See, it's a changeup. Roy Halladay, he'll take that pitch every time, I would think, to throw it in that location. That's not going to happen.
Well, it's the 25th home run that the Blue Jays have hit this spring. They've won 22 games.
Yeah, that's only 3 more than the Phillies have had.
Yeah. Now they play in a a ballpark which is a little smaller than this one.
Yeah, and it depends on the wind over there, but you can really have some homer happy days.
Eric Thames hits one deep to left center field. Victorino's going back, and that one is off the top of the wall.
You got to keep the ball out of the air today. You know, that ball is going to be a fly ball to left center field and out. But today, forget about it. You get it up in the air, are they going to fly?
He hit this ball well.
Yeah, he hit it well, but I mean, it's a wind-blown fly ball. It should, you know, it's not going to be that far in normal days.
Yeah.
This is one of those days here where balls in the air are going to be home runs or extra base hits in many cases.
So a double, and here's Brett Lawrie. Talk about a guy who's had himself a heck of a spring. Laurie's just 22 years old, 18 for 33 this spring. And he takes inside. It's 1-0.
So I keep talking all-star. Big time potential for this guy. Came from Milwaukee.
Yeah.
For Markham.
Sean Markham's a good pitcher, but this kid potentially is one of the best third basemen in the league.
And they did a really good job on this trade. Did the Blue Jays.
And Markham helped the Brewers last year.
Markham, as you said, Tom's a good pitcher.
2-0 the count to Lawrie. And a breaking ball in there for a strike. It's 2-1.
Normally when a pitcher does that with nobody out, he's more wants another pitch. He just didn't like where they were going to go with that and decides, I'm going to step off. Let's go through the signs again.
Tried to hold up. No chance. 2-2 the count. Lawrie was a first-round selection by the Brewers. Last year in the minor leagues, he hit .347 with 18 home runs. It's one the opposite way. That's going to sneak into right field, a base hit. Rounding third, heading for home is Thames. The throw by Penn's cut off, and it's 2-0 Blue Jays.
Wow.
Not a bad piece of hitting right there.
Yeah, got that right. Hit that early in the season in April, and some ballparks and your thumbs are going to hurt for a week. Watch him get jammed with his sinker. Runs right in on his hands, and he fights it off. Thames can run and scores easily.
So still nobody out. Here's J.P. Arancibia. Arancibia at .239 here this spring with 4 home runs, including a real long one inside the Tiki Bar here at this ballpark. Takes low and away. 1 ball, no strikes.
A lot of people think the Blue Jays are a big-time sleeper, but that division they're in, it's just so difficult.
Fly ball right center field, carrying well. Victorino into the alley, makes the catch. Lawrie tags from first. He's going to get to second. So 1 away, a runner in scoring position. Colby Rasmus is due up, and a lot going on around Major League Baseball. And to tell us about that, here's Greg Murphy.
Yeah, you said it, Tom. A lot happening this week. Obviously, lots of news going on. And one of the biggest stories, one that you guys touched on earlier in the broadcast, and that is that 49-year-old Jamie Moyer back in baseball. He's going to be the #2 starter with the Colorado Rockies after undergoing Tommy John surgery and missing all of last season. Livan Hernandez, the 37-year-old, also back. He's going to pitch with the Braves. He was released by Houston. He'll be in the bullpen. And Alex Gordon and the Royals have agreed to a 5-year deal. So that's what's happening in and around baseball, guys.
All right, Murph, thank you very much. Yeah, Jamie Moyer will become the first Major League player since Julio Franco to start a year at the age of 49. He'll be the oldest starting pitcher to open a season with a team in Major League Baseball history. How about that?
See, I would have thought Phil Niekro might have done that, but yeah, he wasn't that old. Phil Niekro
was in
pitched
his
45, 46 maybe, but yeah, he never got to 49. I mean, in playing.
It's just remarkable that Jamie has pitched his way into being, at least to start, the #2 starter for the Rockies. He beat out a 22-year-old and a 27-year-old for that last spot.
That almost totaled his age.
Yeah.
22 and 27?
22 and 27.
That's 49.
That's 49.
That did total his age.
Attaboy, Wheels.
That's amazing. Wow. Well, they said he was humping it up there around 79 or 80 in those games. So that's typical Jamie.
Well, that's what Jim Tracy said. He said he does not look any different than he did with the Phillies. Swing and a miss. Rasmus is down on strike. Second strikeout for Halladay. And 2 outs here in the second. It is remarkable, though, about Jamie. I mean, it's remarkable.
Well, you know, everybody around here got to know him so well over the years. Are happy for him. And I hope it works out.
How about yesterday was the 20th anniversary of Moyer getting released by the Cubs.
Wow.
20th anniversary of his release. Jeff Mathis takes a cut and a miss at the first pitch.
It's just it's a nice story. You know, hopefully it'll have a happy ending and he wins some games. But just to think that he's going to get another shot's amazing.
Tapper foul. It's 0-2. Blue Jays scored 2 runs in the inning. A home run by Edwin Encarnacion and a single by Brett Lawrie, who's at second base.
That's a big swing. Big swing. Taking deep.
Jamie used to really get hit hard in spring training too, because he was just working on his location, and he didn't have to worry about making a team. But back in the years when he got more established,
his earned run average this spring was under 3.
Yeah, that's remarkable.
Now the altitude may have an effect on him, but it's not. The altitude's pretty high in Arizona too.
Oh, yeah.
Two balls, 2 strikes the count. I'm interested to see what the reaction is if he pitches for the Rockies when they come to Philadelphia. Doc working hard to try to get through this second inning. Through 16 pitches in the first.
First inning he was throwing it right where he wanted to. This inning's gotten hurt a little bit, but I don't know that he's made that many bad pitches in this inning.
That one just missed. It's 3-2.
The ball Encarnacion hit out was a ball. It was almost on the ground, and the double was windblown, and the other one's a thumber to right field. But right now he's just missing, and they're fouling a lot of pitches off.
There's Escobar. He's on deck. And he got him. Breaking ball on the inside part of the plate. Back-to-back strikeouts for Halladay. 3 overall. Blue Jays score 2. We go to the bottom of the second. Well, the home opener on April 9th is sold out, but that doesn't mean you'll miss out on opening week. Tickets are available for games during the opening homestand, including great promotions And games against the Florida Marlins. Thursday, April 12th. That's a Hatfield Dollar Dog Night. And then Friday the 13th, kick off the weekend against the Mets. Well, it's really the first time that we've said this, but it's a cloudy day here in Clearwater. Phillies down 2-0. Hunter Pence will lead it off. It'll be Pence, Wigginton, and Mayberry. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. Pence has scored 12 runs this spring. His average at 284 with 2 home runs. 1-1 the count. Wheels, I don't think I've said the lights are on here at Bright House Field all spring, but the lights are on.
Well, we haven't played any night games.
That's true.
And there hasn't been any rain. So you probably haven't. Yeah, there's some dark stuff, you know, out in the Gulf and north of here, and the wind's blowing it away, hopefully.
When the season begins for the Clearwater Threshers, every Friday they have fireworks here at this ballpark every Friday night. And they'll draw about 4,000 fans, which is a very nice crowd for a Florida State League game. As Pence waves at the 2-2. And that's the first strikeout for Ricky Romero.
Pretty good breaking ball there.
That'll bring Ty Wigginton to the plate. Romero last year 15 wins, an earned run average of 2.92. Not necessarily a strikeout pitcher, but he had 178 strikeouts in 225 innings of work.
3 quality pitches. You know, his fastball's good enough. Breaking ball and then that changeup.
Facing Ty Wigginton. Wigginton has not had a particularly good spring offensively, hitting just 190. And he loops that one right past Sam Perlazzo. And it's 0-2. The roster spots are winding down for the club. There still is a battle or two going on. Wigginton is down on strikes for the second out. I say that you know, with Ty, he'll be in there, whether it be at first base or at second base at times, or even at third base at times.
Some funky looking swings going on up there.
It'll bring John Mayberry to the plate. How about Mayberry has 70 at-bats this spring?
Well, they said they're going to play him a lot.
And he takes strike one. It's 0-1. He too has struggled, but Charlie Manuel has said he's going to give him a chance in the regular season. He said he has to. Now, with that comes the conversation over the last couple of days that Juan Pierre will get chances in left field. Charlie said, you know, my lineup's not set. He goes, our job is to win. The guy's not playing well. I'm not going to play him. I'm going to put somebody else out.
When he says playing well, that normally means hitting.
Yeah, there's no question Mayberry's a better defender than a lot of the other guys.
Far better.
Cracks that one to shortstop. Escobar waits back on it. And another 1-2-3 inning for Ricky Romero. Phillies go down in order for a second straight inning. We go to the top of the third. The Phils down 2-0. Hey, big news for The Big Bang Theory. Starting Monday, you can see Philly's #1 comedy at its new time. Now for a full hour at 7 and 7:30. After a full hour of 2.5 Men, it all starts Monday right here on PHL 17. Jimmy Rollins going over some hitting with Juan Pierre.
Roy Halladay's ready to go right now. Is he talking on the bench, but running something a little late on the board.
Yeah, he's ready to go. He wants to throw.
Well, he can see that stuff potentially arriving from out west right now, and he wants to get another inning in here at least.
From Louisiana or somewhere.
Yeah. Well, it's a little closer now than it was before.
Escobar takes low. 1 ball and 1 strike the count.
You see by the cloud formation out there that could get a spritz.
How many meteorology classes did you take at Penn State?
1.
Off
Pretty
the
easy,
inside corner,
pretty
2 and
easy
1.
to see when rain's coming, though. Or as Whitey used to say, boys, I can smell it. He killed us that one night and it never rained. We were in St. Louis and he says, I can smell it's raining out in Ladue. None of us had ever been to Ladue, Missouri. And people are starting to leave their seats right now.
All right, so maybe it's drizzling a little bit. I think Carlos Ruiz may have gotten something in his eye.
And that ball hit the ground and kicked up some dirt. He doesn't want to have to go waste any time because he knows Halladay wants to get a few more pitches in before he might have a delay.
Rich Doobie stood up. He was wondering where's Scott Sheridan or Sean Fakazny. And Sean comes out, one of the Phillies athletic trainers. I thought maybe Escobar got him with the backswing originally, but then he took the mask off. Oh, yeah, right there. Just whoop.
Some dirt kicked up and got him. No, the wind's really kicking up.
Yeah, they're probably going to put the tarp on shortly.
We're going to get one.
Just because the wind itself is going to make it even more difficult to get the tarp on the field.
Yeah, and Chooch, I mean, he can't play right now because he can't see.
Right. See the wind whipping on Sean's golf shirt.
These Chooch go better. Look at the wind blowing here right now.
Here they go. They're going to put the tarp on the field.
Yeah,
so
they can't help
the Phillies are going to head back to the dugout. They're going to put the tarp on the field for the first time this spring.
Last year, the last game we played here, it rained. In fact,
did it really?
Oh, it rained. In fact,
I don't remember that.
It would rain so hard going to the airport that day that we wonder if we could take off on getaway day.
Well, the grounds crew is going to get the tarp on the field as quickly as possible. As we said, it's a little tougher just because the wind is whipping, but they're used to it. There's Rich Doobie chatting with Roy Halladay. Doc may throw inside just to kind of keep his arm limber, and we may not see him again before or after the whatever storm comes through. But they want to make sure that he keeps on throwing because, as we said, this is kind of his last tune-up before opening day out in Pittsburgh.
Right.
So we'll see what he winds up doing. He may sit for a little bit before he goes back. Nope, he's going to get his jacket and go right back in. So he'll probably throw under the stadium for a little bit before, while the team waits as the tarp gets put out on the field. So it's 2-0 Blue Jays here in the top of the third. Blue Jays scored a run on a home run by Edwin Encarnacion. Brett Laurie then drove in the second run. That was in the second inning of today's ball game. Doc threw 41 pitches through the first 2 innings of this afternoon's game. And now Opie Cheek and his crew is going to put the tarp on the field as the storm seems to be impending. And we're in our first rain delay of the spring. Well, the Phillies will open up the season with 2 on-deck games against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And then Thursday, they'll be out in Pittsburgh. We'll open it up on PHL 17. First pitch is scheduled for 1:35. The off day is generally built in to the start of each season in case there's a rain out for the first game. And then there's 2 more games against the Pirates. Then home, the Miami Marlins will be in town as Phillies will open up at Citizens Bank Park on Monday, the 9th at 1 p.m. So that's the upcoming schedule for the first week or 2 of the season. Here we're in a rain delay at Bright House Field. We'll keep you entertained with the Charlie Manuel Show. Mark Carlson, two of the umpires, or excuse me, Eric Cooper, two of the umpires for this afternoon's ball game. The grounds crew is rolling the tarp back up, so the storm, at least for the moment, has brushed by us. Roy Halladay today threw 45 pitches before the rains came. 41 of the first two innings. First inning, Wheels, he was dialed in big time.
I think he had great stuff here today. There's a changeup right there for a strikeout. Breaking ball for a strikeout. Another breaking ball for another strikeout. Edwin Encarnacion hit a pitch on the ground for a home run when the wind was blowing out a ton. That's not going to be the way it is now after the rain delay. The wind has totally changed. Then Roy Halladay and Rich Doobie talked it over. And what they probably did was, as Tom mentioned when we were signing off, just went underneath. And he went down there and threw a, whatever pitch. They may have even done like a simulated type of game, put a hitter up there, throw all his pitches. Who knows? But Roy Halladay has a way of getting ready and throwing the pitches that he needed to do. And it looked like Romero went down there and did the same thing. So now they're going to bring Raul Valdez in. And I would doubt that the Blue Jays will come back with Romero.
Yeah, Ricky Romero and Roy Halladay both seem like they're done for the afternoon. So when we eventually begin playing again, Raul Valdez will be the new pitcher for the Phillies. Valdez and Joe Savory are battling for one of the last couple of roster spots. And we'll see who wins that spot. So a rain delay, another edition of the Charlie Manuel Show. Ready to resume play here at Bright House Field. Blue Jays up 2-0, top of the third. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Yunel Escobar. Now it's 3-2, and Raul Valdez is the new pitcher for the Phillies. Valdez picked up as a minor league free agent during the offseason. And there's ball 4. So Escobar's aboard to lead off the third. It was a rain delay of 36 minutes. And so far this spring, Valdez 1-0, 1.69 earned run average. 11 strikeouts in 10 2/3. And there's some thought that, Valdez still has a chance to make this team. Joe Savory still has a chance to make this team. So these last couple of outings are going to be important for both these guys.
Absolutely. And this is the kind of role Valdez has been using as his relief pitcher. Where he has to go out there, warm up, and get in the game. It's raining a little bit right now. It's just kind of spritzing. Easy for us to say when we're under cover.
Kelly Johnson's 0 for 1 with a strikeout, and it's no balls and 2 strikes now to Johnson. Valdez has been in the major leagues with the Cardinals, with the Yankees, with the Mets. In fact, the Phillies saw him for an extended period of time when he was with the Mets. He's come in and started to throw the ball pretty well this spring. And a call, strike 3. Gets Johnson right on the outside part of the plate.
By the way, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitchers are changed. The count is 2-2. The official scorer shall charge that batter and the actions of that batter to the relief pitcher.
Okay.
So that completes the line on Roy Halladay. Not that there's any big deal this time of the year, but the walk is not his.
Well, the strikeout which you just saw is Valdez.
And the walk is his.
And Jose Bautista is the batter. He takes a breaking ball for a strike. I always thought 2-2, without looking at the rule, would then go to would stay with the starting pitcher or whoever the pitcher was before.
I wasn't sure either. That's why I thought, well, we better look it up.
On the hands to left field. John Mayberry comes in. And there are 2 outs. Monday, May 7th at 7:05, the Phillies and the New York Mets will face each other for the second time at Citizens Bank Park. Tuesday the 8th is the Asian Pacific celebration at the ballpark. Go to Phillies.com to purchase your tickets. So, there's still some seats available for that first weekend against the Mets, and also for the series beginning on May 7th against the Mets. Here's Edwin Encarnacion. He fouls the first pitch back. Encarnacion homered his last time up. And it's no balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, he's the guy we were talking about. Hit a ball, looked like it was on the ground almost, and the wind was blowing out a ton to left and left center, especially when the game started. Now it's gone the other way. Turned around to the northwest, blowing towards right and right center.
1 ball, 1 strike to count.
Totally different. Look at the temperature. It was 82 at game time. 68 right now after the rain. But it's going to be 80 again tomorrow.
The ball's hit toward third, off the glove of Polanco. Good backup by Galvis. And there'll be runners on first and second with 2 outs.
Take a bad hop.
I think it may have. It's still a play that
Polanco
usually makes. But
yeah, we expect him to make it, but
they've scored this in error.
Ball was hit hard.
Yeah, it took a hop at the end, but it was moving pretty good. It shot up right off the heel of his glove. So Encarnacion's at first. Eric Thames will be the hitter. Had a breaking ball down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. That was a pretty good pitch. Now the rain's picked up a little bit here at Bright House Field. Can you smell it, Wills?
Yeah.
And there's a base hit to left center field. That's going to bring home another run. Victorino gets to it. It'll hold the runner at second. But scoring easily from second is Escobar. It's now 3-0 Toronto.
Guy's turning a pretty good looking hitter. Saw him last year. He has some power. And he's hit 2 balls the other way today for hits. Pronounced Thames, Eric Thames. Inside out of that. Good looking swing.
So with 2 outs, top of the third, here's Brett Lawrie. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball. It's 0-1.
Come on, man, watch the ball.
Lawrie had an RBI single his first time up. He shot it the other way. Look at his average, 581.
He was hurt a little bit. He missed some time.
He had some back issues.
Yep.
Towering pop-up. Foul territory. Polanco will have room. Pollard all the way, and the side is retired. The Blue Jays do score 1. They lead 2. We'll go to the bottom of the third. Baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. And by the Quality Plus Ford stores. Well, folks, when it started to rain, a lot of folks went out toward the Frenchie's Tiki Bar. That'll be open for a couple hours after today's game. It is still raining, so fans are trying to stay as dry as possible. A lot of the fans are also under the concourse, which is one of the great things here at this ballpark, a lot like Citizens Bank Park, is that you can wander all the way around the ballpark and watch the game because the concourses are open. Or you can just stop out at the Tiki Bar and linger there for the rest of the ball game.
That is packed. Wow, are they jammed in out there?
Carlos Villanueva is the new pitcher for the Blue Jays. He's pitched well for them. 5 strikeouts in 9 into the third. And he will face Hector Luna, Carlos Ruiz, and Freddie Galvis. Hector Luna has shoved himself into the conversation for a roster spot. I thought 5-6 days ago that everything was pretty well set. It's not.
Take that pitch.
It's in flux, as they say.
Yeah. Well, part of that too is because of some of the injuries in the bullpen. 1 ball, 1 strike the count to Luna.
You know, they probably have an idea of where they're headed. Charlie Manuel and Ruben Amaro Jr. spent a lot of time talking on the field before the game during batting practice, probably kicking some of that stuff around.
Part of the thought behind Luna is that he is a pretty good offensive player. Last year, he had 283 with 14 home runs, but Charlie's also watched him win some ball games.
He puts the ball in play for the most part. He has one of those swings. He's got that bail and whale swing, but he puts the bat on the ball a lot.
Here's the 1-2 pitch.
And that's to me where you would pitch him as much as you can, is throw him away with breaking balls, because you watch his swing, everything is drifting, pulls off everything, but he keeps his hands in the hitting area pretty well.
Spring, he's 14 for 45.
He's won a few games. I think they're going to go change up here.
And he got him. He was out in front. And that's the 3rd strikeout of the Phillies hitters today.
That 3-2 changeup will do that to a wild swing. He shook off breaking ball. They went with a waggle for changeup, and there it is. Whether it's a straight change or a split, don't know. But it was a pretty good changeup.
So now Carlos Ruiz. Boy, Carlos hit a ball a ton last night in Tampa. I didn't know how it didn't get out of the ballpark.
You look, it was going to be a grand slam when he hit it.
Takes a strike on a breaking ball. He hit a ball that, kind of one-hopped the wall in Tampa. And then Curtis Granderson hit one that went out of the yard. I thought Carlos's was hit better.
Was there wind?
A little bit, yeah. It's a little shorter in right field, too.
Yeah. Yeah, that one Granderson hit looked like he was headed for a car on Del Mabry. The main highway that runs through, one of the main highways that runs through Tampa.
0-2 the count to Ruiz. He serves that one into center field. Carlos's hot spring continues. He is now officially at the 500 mark at 20 for 40.
Yeah, that's a nice 2-strike swing he had there, too. Guy made a little bit of a mistake with an 0-2 pitch. Got a little bit too much of the plate, but give Carlos credit. He hits it into center field. He's really hitting the ball where it's pitched. See, we're supposed to be away, and it came back over the plate a little bit, and he got him. But he's hit it all over the place this spring.
So now Freddie Galvis, who is 19 for 70 this spring, takes strike 1. Freddie played shortstop today. He hasn't started a game at shortstop in a little bit. Boy, if he can put the number to the left up and the pace with the number to the right up during the season, that'd be huge.
Well, it's something he's never been able to do in his minor league career. But he's improving.
Ball, 1 strike to count.
Sees a lot of off-speed stuff, and
we probably will see more.
Yeah.
There's Pete Orr, who has played well the last week or so. And he too is trying to earn a spot on this roster, sitting next to Kevin Franzen, who's back up today. Joe Thurston's here. Phillies just signed him. Ball got away from Aaron Sebia, and Ruiz will go up to second. That'll be a wild pitch.
Well, now you try to go the same pitch he struck Luna out on, a change up there. He buried a little early.
Blue Jays will open the season on the road in Cleveland, and then they come home. They have 9 games at home.
And they don't have to worry about weather.
Well, I think that's smart.
That roof,
if they scheduled it that way. Although I think the Tampa Bay Rays may be there for a series of, in those 9 games. Up and in, 3-2. But, for years, folks have been trying to get Major League Baseball to play more early games in warmer weather climates or places with a roof.
Did that one year. And then interleague play came in, and that evidently takes away the ability to do that. At least that's what we've heard.
Galvis is down on strikes. He was out in front. So 2 strikeouts for being away, but 4 overall for Blue Jays pitching. We go back to the top of the order.
See, one thing you like to see with Freddie, if it's possible, is cut down on that swing. I mean, that's way too big a swing.
Well, maybe by the time the Phillies play the Nationals on Monday, May 21st, he'll have more of a technique down for that. It's a 3-game series, all 3 night games, including the Hatfield Dollar Dog Night on Tuesday the 22nd. Go to Phillies.com to check out all the Hatfield Dollar Dog Nights at the ballpark and get your tickets for that series. Here's Victorino with a runner in scoring position.
Very shallow in the outfield with all their outfielders right now. Be tough to score Ruiz.
Shane was batting right-handed his first time up, grounded out to third. And it's 1-1 on that curveball.
Curveball, changeup, slider, fastball. A lot of pitches for Villanueva.
Kelly Johnson charges, gets the big hop. Victorino and the Phillies are retired here in the third. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left, and a 36-minute rain delay. We go to the 4th. 2012 Phillies games are available for most every ball game. Make your plans now for the season's first Hatfield Dollar Dog Nights. Thursday, April 12th at 7:05 when the Phillies face the Marlins, and then Monday the 30th at 7:05 when they face the Cubs. Don't delay. Make plans now for your choice of Phillies games in this upcoming season. Go to Phillies.com today. Well, that was mobbed a few minutes ago because the rain was falling here at Bright House Field. Now, it is still raining, not as hard as, let's say, it was 15 minutes ago, but it's still fairly consistent. Folks are trying to stay dry. It is clearing up around the ballpark, but the storm must be widening a little bit. Gary Matthews joins us up here in the booth. Sarge, did you check out the radar?
Yes, I did.
How'd it look?
Looked great. Only 68 degrees right now, by the way.
That feels refreshing, doesn't it?
Well, it does.
J.P. Arancibia leads it off against Raul Valdez.
Needed a little bit warmer, though. So kind of warm these bats up.
There's a fly ball to right field. The ball's carrying pretty well. And Pence on the edge of the track makes the catch. One away. So Valdez, who allowed an unearned run in the third, gets the first out here in the fourth. That'll bring Colby Rasmus to the plate. Rasmus struck out his first time up. That was against Roy Halladay, who went the first two. Let a couple runs, struck out 3. And the first pitch is over for a strike.
Well, you've seen a lot of low averages, not just in the Grapefruit League, but also the Cactus League there, which is in Arizona, where they have the spring training.
Have any theories on that?
It's all over baseball. I mean, when you start to look at the run production and runs being scored, they're down all over Major League Baseball. And I, for one thing, we have a lot of mechanical type swings. You know, before a lot of times, which is a good example, when you saw Carlos Ruiz get a hit, he was a little bit off balance, but he was able to still kind of, because of good mechanics, still put the wood on the ball. You know, sometimes you're looking at a ball in a certain situation, and you have a swing that's so grooved that you never go down to be able to hit the ball.
All right, now is that a swing right there that Rasmus just had?
I thought Rasmus was just fooled on that pitch, but his position wasn't great.
Well, 2 quick outs. Here's that swing we're talking about.
Take a look at it now. He's all out in front. He just got fooled on the pitch. Good pitch, though. Breaking ball down in the dirt.
So Valdez has 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. Here comes Jeff Mathis. He struck out his first time up. Now you see another average at 148. And he just waved at that offering.
That's good eye, Jeffrey. Don't be fooled by that low ball.
It's still a situation you really want to make sure that you're pitching well and that you're hitting the ball well as you go into the season. Everybody's starting to kind of break it down. This is the time to really turn it up so you can get that confidence going at the beginning of the season. You just don't want to start the season with a lot of doubts.
Charlie was a player before. You were too. As the 1-2 comes in outside, 2-2. But you know, when you're struggling in spring training, I mean, you just turn the page. I mean, you try to say, we'll leave all the stats there.
You have to forget it. You have to go on and forget it. But more than likely, you're not going to start the season off.
Well, Raul Valdez comes back to strike out the last 2 batters that he faced. He's retired 4 in a row. We're through 3.5 here in Clearwater. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Citizens Bank. We're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. And by Honda, the really big sales event. Real deals, big inventory. Now at your Honda dealer. 3-0 Blue Jays, bottom of the fourth. Rain is falling here at Bright House Field. We had a 36-minute rain delay earlier. And once they got the tarp off, they restarted the ball game, and then the rain started to fall again. And hopefully they can play through this, and it clears up even more as the day moves on.
Well, need to get that work in, and guys need to, for sure, make sure they're getting their work in hitting-wise.
Placido Polanco is 0 for 1 today. He grounded out to second his first time up. That was against Ricky Romero. This is Oscar Villanueva. There's a fly ball down the left field line, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. Polanco, he went around this first base bag kind of odd. And he'll stop at second with a leadoff double.
Yeah, got to really watch your footing. As you see him laughing there a little bit. The bases could be a little bit slick.
I'm glad he's laughing. He's not grimacing in pain.
Yeah, it doesn't appear to be anything wrong with him. Take a look at him, though. First pitch swinging as he one-hands that ball into left field. Little problems there. Now he's running and, actually just didn't look at that pitch. That's an automatic double. Then he's starting to run and he's looking at the bag. I mean, you'd almost have to ask him what he was actually thinking about.
It wasn't the bag's fault. That was Polly's fault.
I don't know what he was doing there, but again, automatic double.
All right, so Jimmy Rollins now the hitter. Rollins grounded out his first time up. And Sarge, we've watched the last couple of days Rollins toward the middle of the lineup.
He's flip-flopped them, and putting Victorino leading him off.
And Pierre yesterday.
No, he's still experimenting with the lineup. Charlie Manuel has been.
Jimmy tried to turn on that. Gets the runner over to third, but there's one away.
It's a great job, though. This is the kind of season it's going to be for them where you got to chip away, but you get a runner on second base, you got to make sure you get him over. And Hunter Pence there, he's very aggressive. See what he gets first pitch, probably breaking ball or something out of the zone. See how he gets those high fives going into the dugout as Greg Gross, hitting coach, says, hey, way to go. He said, no, that's what you want to do. Advance the runner if you make that out and you make it on the right side.
Charlie having a conversation with Rich Doobie. I'm not sure it's about Jimmy Rollins' at bat.
No.
Here's Hunter Pence. Infield is back. Phillies down 3-0. Polanco leads off third. And the first pitch slips out of the hand of Villanueva. And it's 1-0. It's actually starting to rain a little harder now.
Well, the weather report, they call it 40% chance that it was going to rain today. From my reports.
Yeah, but for me, you've got to get over 50 for me to be concerned about the weather.
Well, you hit it with that 40%, but end up getting that on my iPad.
Ground ball, foul. 1-1. Might be a shock to folks that you're able to operate a computer that way.
Easy now.
I think we're all very proud of you about that.
Well, I mean.
Particularly since the first day when you tried to set it up and the keyboard was behind the screen, which wasn't going to really work that way.
Work in progress, okay? Getting it done.
There comes the 1-1 pitch to Pence. Ground ball toward the middle. That'll sneak in the center, a base hit. Polanco scores. Leadoff double, get him over, get him in. It's 3-1 Blue Jays, an RBI for Hunter Pence.
That's a great job. One of the few times we've seen him where he actually seemed to cut down his swing. Maybe because it was off speed, but when you stay in the middle of the field, good things happen there. Didn't pull off as much on that ball. He drives in that run any way you can. That's what you want to do, especially when you're behind.
Well, now let's see if they can get something going with one out. Pence over at first. Pence is one of those guys, he could steal a base, or he can steal a base. We'll see if he Tries to get himself in scoring position at any point. Kind of slick out there right now, and Wigginton takes a strike.
A little quick pitch, too. The base stealers that steal bases, they read the pitchers. Not so much, though, important in spring training, obviously, as it would be during the season. Got to just work on your jumps.
He's hit by a pitch. That'll put 2 on for John Mayberry.
Good spot to be hit in if you're going to get hit. Correct way to turn. See how he turned back? That's what you want to do.
Well, it's an RBI situation now for John Mayberry. Looks like the Blue Jays are going to get somebody up and loosening. Jason Frazier was milling around. Villanueva's in his 2nd inning of relief. There's Frazier.
Mayberry struggling a little bit this spring training. This really is after almost having a job. Not like he was actually competing. You can see those numbers there. No power numbers so far for Mayberry Jr.
We got a rally going, huh?
What is it that you see, Sarge? Is there anything that
you know what, I'd like to, I mean, for me, and I'm not down there every day, he's in a pretty good hitting position. I just think he's so tall that he's just crouched over too much for me. I'd like to see his legs flex, but I'd like for him to be upright just maybe a little bit more and really start to get a little bit more extension on those balls right there. That's a late swing.
Yeah,
that's a late swing and getting started late.
Now, he was in a crouch last year. We like that athletic position, but is he more so now?
Well, he looks to be more so now, but again, Tom, he's not as aggressive, I think. Early on when he came back, he was just so aggressive, and especially on most of the pitches that were thrown hard. Then guys started talking about on-base percentage. Then he started taking pitches and then getting quails and so on, not hitting the ball hard. Just needs to stay in a good hitting position and making sure he's using the gaps and just driving the ball. Mayberry Jr. is a line drive hitter. We've seen him. He can get that ball out of the ballpark. But you got to have the right mechanics to do that.
Well, he's behind 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's gotten pretty muddy out there. And as you said, when they took the tarp off, that's when the rain started again. And it hasn't let up. Inside, 2-2.
Hunter Pence at second base can get a little bit bigger lead. Well, you want to try and make it easy on yourself. The bigger the lead, the easier it is to be able to score. Well, you always check out, see exactly where the fielders are playing. Therefore, when the ball is hit, you don't have to look at it.
Lance Nix picked up that foul ball.
You're right about that rain. Still coming down pretty steady.
Well, I was told there was a 40% chance that there could be rain today.
Yeah, I told you that. I thought I mentioned that.
Johnny, rattle in the corner.
You get that mud in those cleats. Oh, and you like to be able to dig in. That also makes it difficult, both pitcher and hitter.
Ball's hit to center field. Playable for Rasmus. Pence will go back to tag and draw the throw. And there are 2 outs. And that'll leave it for Hector Luna.
That's a pitch there. You would think he'd be able to drive and hit hard. It was in the right zone, but again, just coming off of the ball there with his shoulder a little bit. Those are some of those things, though, when you start the season, all that now that you've talked about and did during spring training, you got to have that down pat. It has to come automatically for you in order to really start off the way you should. You look at some of the good hitters, mechanics are always pretty well great. Look at Charlie as he's demonstrating the same thing. And what he's doing, he's getting that load going where you're getting ready to try, see, and drive that ball. Same way on the right side.
I think he's talking to Tommy about the way Mayberry's standing. You see right there, he was kind of moving the bat toward the middle of his torso.
And when he was demonstrating the load from the left side, you can see how he's getting loaded up as if he was getting ready to maybe punch someone. And that's how you get that power. You know, and you got those hands in the middle of your body, you're not able to get extension the way you should.
Oh, and 1 the count to Hector Luna with runners on first and second. 2 the count. You hear the crowd groan and somebody say, "Oh, come on."
Yeah, they'll tell you. Hey, how can you swing at that pitch? I kind of like Luna as a hitter. Don't know whether or not he's going to make the club or not, but he's a solid hitter. But a lot of times, and when you look at this club, you have guys that can hit but doesn't field as well as you would like them.
The ball gets away from Aaron Subia. It'll be the second wild pitch of the day for the Blue Jays. Second one for Villanueva. And now runners on second and third with 2 outs.
Now, this is a wild pitch, very difficult to get to. Take a look at it, and that's one of those things where it would have been just luck. Although usually you'll see catchers, they'll get over to try and block it. It appeared he was trying to actually catch that ball with the one glove. There's that mud coming into play. That's what I was talking about. You're trying to hit, trying to pitch. You got that mud that's just all caked up. You're not able really to get and have the balance that you would like. You know, you just don't feel comfortable at the plate when you can't really dig in with your spikes.
Well, they're going to be dealing with it for the rest of the day. It does seem like the rain has subsided a little bit. Hunter Pence is at third. Ty Wigginton's at second. 1-2 the count to Hector Luna in a 2-run ball game. And a call, strike 3. They can fold him with where that location was. For Villanueva, it's his 3rd strikeout. Phillies leave 2. They get 1. It's 3-1 Blue Jays. Well, the Phillies home opener on April 9th might be sold out, but that doesn't mean you'll miss out. Check out Phillies.com. There are some seats still available for Thursday, April 12th at 7:05 against the Marlins. That's a Hatfield Dollar Dog Night. And Friday the 13th against the Mets. Kick off the first weekend of the season. Check out Phillies.com for all your ticket needs. David Herndon is the new pitcher for the Phillies as we start the top of the 5th. On what has turned out to be a soggy afternoon here in Clearwater. Herndon so far this spring, 9 games, 2.77 earned run average. He's allowed a hit per innings pitched so far this spring. And he'll face the top of the order. Yunel Escobar, Kelly Johnson, Jose Bautista. The first pitch is over for a strike. It's 0-1.
Looking for Herndon to eat up some innings this year. He's got a good arm. I mean, he should be able to contribute, I think, a little bit more than he did last year. That's what has been his problem, control. You can get that fastball over, and we've seen instances during the course of the season that this guy was as good as any of them. But the consistency is what separates.
It remains 0-2 to Escobar. And I guess you would think that as he gets more experience, which, you know, let's face it, when the Phillies picked him up in the Rule 5 draft, he didn't have a whole lot of experience. He had none in the major leagues. That may benefit him a little bit more. Yes, no?
Well, I mean, having been here, and then he didn't have to have the pressure to have a great year to be able to make the ball club, and he did. You know, now it's a little bit different where, okay, you know, we got your Rule 5. Now we want to make sure that, you know, you're the pitcher that we thought you were going to be.
He got Escobar. That's a good pitch. First out here in the 5th.
Good old-fashioned slide piece as it breaks down in a way. That's that pitch that usually will get most right-handed hitters out, especially if it's a good one.
Kelly Johnson's 0 for 2. He has struck out twice. Johnson takes away 1-0. Swing and a miss.
He's got a good breaking ball here today. Herndon does. The other thing so far on his side that he's keeping that ball somewhere in the same vicinity. Elevated that one. But when you do that, it makes it difficult for the hitter to know whether or not it is fastball or slider. Guy's got to pick up the spin on the ball as quick as you can.
The ball's hit hard but foul. And it remains 1-2. Well, the number of guys that are going to be in the bullpen, or the players that will be in the bullpen, it just keeps on changing. And a lot of it, as we said, is going to have to do with the health of some of the arms, as Herndon picks up a second strikeout. You know, Michael Stutz has a cranky shoulder right now. Jose Contreras still coming back from the elbow surgery. You know, both those guys may start the season on the DL. Valdez looked okay today. Savory's looked pretty good.
Yeah, well, you know, in talking about Savory, the one thing about him, he has been throwing strikes, but he's more of a fly ball type pitcher. A lot of times that just doesn't work at Citizens Bank because you want guys coming in and getting ground balls. You don't want them coming in and hitting fly balls that would have a tendency to leave the ballpark.
1 ball, no strikes to count to Bautista. Inside 2-0.
Boy, Bautista just kind of almost coming out of nowhere, resurrecting his career. 43 bombs last year.
97 the last 2 years.
See, when you talk about on-base percentage, you know, when you start hitting the way that he does, pitchers fear you. Therefore, they don't want to pitch to you. You're able to get your walks.
That's a foul ball, but that one may not be coming back anytime soon.
Yeah, that's turning on it right there.
I think it stayed in the yard. I think it bounced around the kid zone down the left field line.
Gives you an indication how quick he can be. 132 walks last year he ended up having, and again, that's what helps out that on-base percentage.
Takes such an aggressive swing.
Oh boy. Now the balance when you talk about Bautista is what he has, and another thing, he generates a lot of power from his lower half. No, he's not a huge guy by any means of the imagination, but he has good bat speed. There's the balance I'm talking about.
Well, there you go. If it's fair, it's gone. It is a fair ball, and it's a home run. Bautista turned on it quickly, and as Sarge said, kept his balance. And it's now a 4-1 ball game.
Well, you're talking about a player being able to pick up the spin of the ball. You could tell that he did, because once he got his feet down, he was right there on it. As opposed to Luna, who actually almost just ducked the pitch. So take a look at it. Didn't even head down, as he swings. Didn't bail on it at all. That's why he's such a good hitter.
Well, it's now 4-1 Blue Jays. Encarnacion hit a home run earlier. Now Bautista hits one. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. These Blue Jays just may benefit more than any other team in the American League with that extra playoff spot, because their pitching is coming around. Their offense is good. Now it's whether their bullpen can sustain itself.
No, they have some guys that can put the bat on the ball.
Ooh. 2-1 the count.
You know, an Encarnacion.
There's Opie Cheek, who's the head groundskeeper for the Phils down here in Clearwater, going over the radar with the umpires in between innings. And I guess he was showing them what's happening right now, because it's starting to rain pretty hard.
Yeah, and people are starting to kind of move away a little bit. But let me tell you, though, this Encarnacion, he can get you 25 home runs, 25 home runs with this swing, the way that he swings.
Hit that ball hard, a base hit to left field. That was a hanger. And he's aboard with his second hit of the day. He's on base for the 3rd time overall.
So this is what Herndon gets 2 quick outs. Now, and he gets a slider up to Bautista. This ball was up in the zone, but it's where he needs to be able to concentrate. Those good hitters, be able to make sure you bury that slider, especially when you're early in the count there. You got 2 strikes on him, and you don't necessarily need to throw a strike.
Well, here's Eric Thames. He's 2 for 2, and there's a strike at the knees. It's a good pitch.
Off-speed pitch. More importantly, though, it had, not only was it down, it had very good movement.
Got him. So Herndon strikes out the side, but allows a home run and a base hit. The home run from Jose Bautista. He turned on it quickly and sent it into the tiki bar. Phillies game experience? Well, pregame party areas for groups of 20 or more are perfect for entertaining family, friends, or business associates. A variety of party areas to choose from. Call 215-463-5000 or check out Phillies.com for more information. Well, the rain continues to fall here in Clearwater as we move to the bottom of the 5th inning. Johnny Tolosano is the new right fielder for the Blue Jays. And Jason Frazier will take over on the mound. Frazier takes over for Villanueva. They just did a little grooming around the mound. See Frazier's numbers this spring. This will be his 10th ball game. Former Blue Jay went to the White Sox, now back with the Blue Jays. Everybody sometimes, I'm not saying this was Frazier's choice, but you think the grass is always greener. So, you want out, you go wherever it is, and you realize, what the heck did I do?
Be careful what you ask for sometimes. You're right about that. If they don't want you, that's a different thing. You're asking for a trade. Not saying that Jason did that at all.
No, but
asking for a trade.
It's back pretty quick.
Yeah.
Well, he'll face Carlos Ruiz. Carlos has been red hot this spring. He's hitting an even 500.
Those are those starts that you like to have when that season starts.
Takes upstairs, 1 ball, no strikes.
But you can tell, though, the confidence in the way that he's swinging, how he feels at the plate. I mean, even when he swings at a bad pitch, he seems to regroup the next pitch. Not swinging at a lot of bad pitches. But these are the type of at-bats that you want to see from top to bottom.
2-1 the count as Carlos fouls it away. Well, he may become an even more important offensive piece for the Phillies this year, particularly because of the injuries to Chase and to Ryan Howard.
Yeah, I feel they're all going to have to pick their game up offensively in order to make it easier. It's not like they can't do it. I mean, they have players there that can be able to do the job. You just have to do it in a different way than the other guys did.
Inside and low, 3-2.
Stay within yourself.
Good work. Ashley, come back to our hotel for swimming later?
To center field. That's pretty well hit. Rasmus on the run. Back to the infield. He's not going to get it. A one hop off the wall. Man, oh man, if he can carry this over, I mean, everything he's hitting hard.
Well, there's that confidence for you. And again, you feel that you can handle any pitch as he goes over 500 for the spring. His average, look at that, ball's inside. He just took his hands right toward the ball. Look where his eyes are. Very, very confident swing right there. No, that ball, automatic double, hits that center field wall 401 feet away.
So now Freddie Galvis is the hitter. Phillies down 4-1 here in the bottom of the 5th. Galvis struck out his first time up. He was off balance with one off-speed pitch after another. And he got a fastball on that first pitch and fouls it away.
Pretty good swing. This is a time, too, for him. And during the course of the season, you might want to see him maybe drag a ball, making sure you get that runner over.
Come on, Freddie! You want to take second base, make something happen.
Opposite way, that's not going to get the run over. Escobar will throw him out. So Ruiz still at second, 2 away.
That's why that bunt play again for him is going to be a lot more valuable. He doesn't strike out a lot. You're not going to have to worry about that. What he does, though, is he puts the ball in play too much, like he did on a pitch that was really down and just really serving it. just serving it. We're not really trying to do anything with it. If you have 2 strikes on you, okay.
Well, now with 1 out, Victorino is a hitter. Shane's 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice. Takes a strike. It's 0-1. Good play by Aaron Sebia.
Now the other thing, the more pressure you're going to put on yourself if you don't have these opportunities more than once or twice a game. You start feeling like, oh man, I got to get them in, because the pitchers have been picked usually will be pitching a pretty good game. Like to be able to score some runs for them. Here lately, they've been getting hit pretty hard.
Yeah, yesterday when the Phillies were up 6-1 against the Yankees, I was down sitting at field level in Tampa, and Jonathan Papelbon came in. He looked really good. He really did. His ball was moving every which way. His fastball had some explosiveness to it. But he gave up some runs. Then Kendrick gave up some runs. Victorino lines it into right field. Ruiz will be held up at third. So a single for Victorino. It's first and third with 1 out.
It's good hitting. Good hitting by Victorino. You can see again how important it is to be able to get that runner over with less than 2 outs. That would have been an RBI there and another run for the Fighting Phillies.
Now it'll leave it for Polanco. Polanco has a hit today. It was a doubles last time up. But I guess what I'm saying, Sarge, yesterday, up 6-1. Not that you're thinking at any point the game's over, but then if you can just tack on, it turned out Phillies had 16 hits in yesterday's game. That's a lot of hits.
Yeah, that is a lot of hits.
Polanco.
Polanco went on that pitch. It's 0-1.
Same situation, though, for Victorino. For me, if you get that jump with his speed, should be able to steal a base if you're looking to do that. When you want the batter to put that ball in play some kind of way.
Line drive, foul. Almost took Ruiz's helmet off.
Pretty good sign there when he's hitting the ball the way he has to this spring. And Polanco, and just trying to make sure he's healthy. He's healthy. I mean, he's got the mechanics and swinging, knowing what he wants to do when he's up at the plate.
I think that's the key, though, just to stay healthy. Just keep him healthy the whole year.
No, he can do a lot with the bat for you. I mean, he's a pretty good 2-out hitter. He's a good 2-strike hitter. Saw the way he feels. He can pick it over there at third base.
Fly ball down the right field line. That'll slice out of play. workout back there for Aaron Sebia.
Well, with the rain, when that ball hits the dirt, you just about automatically throw that ball out. Used to be you had to have really some scuffs or something on the ball before they would throw it out. Nowadays, if it has any mark at all, they toss it.
Polanco hits it towards short. That could be two. Escobar hesitated, still has time, and the side is retired. The Phillies do get one. Oh, no, they don't get one. Excuse me. They get two hits. They leave one. We go to the top of the sixth. Well, for your iPhone, iPad, or Android, get spring training scores, stats, highlights, live audio, and more. Text @BAT to 31826 or visit Phillies.com for details. Well, we go to the sixth inning. It's 4-1. Blue Jays on top. Scott Pacenda comes on to play center field for the Phillies. He's in there for Shane Victorino. Pete Orr is in for Placido Polanco over third. And Brian Schneider is the new catcher for the Phillies. Brett Lawrie will lead it off. He's 1 for 2 for Toronto. David Herndon in his second inning of relief, and he delivers high. It's 1-0. Herndon allowed a run in the fifth on a solo home run. That's brightened up a little bit. Into the dugout. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. I can't imagine, Sarge, what it's like for guys, whether it be David Herndon, Joe Savory, Raul Valdez, when every inning you're throwing is scrutinized in spring training.
They made it. They did it. They did it.
I guess it says a lot for the guys that are successful that they can just brush it off.
Well, the same way with a Pete Orr, who's always that number 25 or 26 ball man on the ball club. Same thing here with Herndon. I mean, it puts pressure on you that you got to be able to go out and do what you need to do, get guys out. If you're a hitter, you got to have good, solid at-bats.
Oh, the Phillies have a plethora of good contests coming up this year against the National League teams, and they also have a pretty good interleague schedule. For more on that, here's Greg Murphy.
That's right, guys. Braving the elements out here, by the way. Hopefully you guys are warm and dry up there in the booth. But, yes, T-Mac talking a little bit about the interleague schedule. We know we start the season in Pittsburgh, but in May, we head on to Boston. Boston Red Sox actually, that game is in Philadelphia, taking on the Red Sox. Then down to the Baltimore Orioles and the Twins, the Blue Jays, and then host the Rays back in Philadelphia, a team we've seen a couple times down here. A good team. So the interleague schedule certainly looks like an interesting one and a difficult one if you take a look at it on paper. Guys?
Yeah, Murph, I agree with you on that. I think it is a tough one. I mean, the Orioles are not a particularly good team as the season begins. That may change, but I agree with you. I think all across the board, you know, those are good matchups. I mean, anybody can say that that could be a foreshadowing
for the World Series. Yeah, I know we've seen that Tampa team a couple of times, as I said, and we know how good they are. And of course, the Boston Red Sox are going to be the Boston Red Sox. Interleague play is always interesting, always fun. Has been a little difficult for the Phils over the past couple seasons, but it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out this year.
Ty Wiggins will make the catch for the first out. All right, Murph, we appreciate it. We're always looking forward to going to new cities, and for the first time in a while, we'll be going to Minnesota.
Yeah.
We'll see their new ballpark. We'll also go down to Baltimore, which Phillies have been a number of times before, but haven't been there in a few years.
Yeah, they great restaurants over there in Baltimore there, Tom. Let me just tell you that.
It's a good city.
Spicy crabs, if you like those.
There's Rasmus, who takes a strike. It's 0-1.
And not only that, though, those clubs are going to feel comfortable in their own ballpark when the fighting fields come there. The style of ball that Minnesota plays. Baltimore, a younger club, trying to get better, but their ball club has some pretty good hitters. Can get you at any time.
Not a bad spot for Herndon. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count to Rasmus.
It looks like this Blue Jay club, they're going to score a few runs.
Herndon gets a strikeout. So 2 outs here in the 6th. Yeah, they're going to score some runs. And again, the big thing for them is, can, let's say, Kyle Drabek anchor the rotation? Can their bullpen, which has been refurbished, can that sustain itself throughout the year?
It's going to be a tough test, in the East. But you're right, though, having that extra wild card there will make a lot of teams feel a lot better. Good pitch.
Jeff Mathis is 0 for 2. He struck out twice. Gets that one softly to short on 1 hop. Galvis the short way to Luna. And the Blue Jays are retired. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. 5.5 in the books here at Bright House Field. 4-1 Blue Jays. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast, the official HD triple play provider of the Phillies. Well, the fans have navigated through some wet circumstances here this afternoon. Blue skies, though, out toward left field. So maybe this storm has passed us by. Clint Everts is the new pitcher for the Blue Jays. Last year in the minor leagues, a 3.39 earned run average, 63 and 2/3 innings. He's a former first-round selection of the Montreal Expos. How about that? That's how long he's been around. Last year for Toronto in the PCL, Pacific Coast League, he pitched in 9 games. He also pitched in 40 games in the Eastern League with New Hampshire, with the Fisher Cats. He's been with the Blue Jays, he's been with the Mets, he's been with the Expos, of course the Nationals. New third baseman is the legend Omar Vizquel. In center field, Rajai Davis will take over for the Blue Jays. Jimmy Rollins takes low. Rollins lines it foul, and it's 1-1. Rollins today 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice, once to third, once to second. He's the DH this afternoon. Can't imagine Jimmy likes DHing.
Oh, I'm sure he likes to be out on the field. And main thing is here is getting those at bats.
This Clint Everts, Sarge, has spent 9 years in the minor leagues. 9 years.
It's a long time to not give up your dream.
Off the end of the bat, right back to the box.
Gotta kind of admire that for guys that stick with their trade and you finally get to the major leagues. I know that Corey Will spent a number of years in the minor leagues, didn't get a shot, and then came up and was quite a star for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Dave Gallagher was one of those guys too. Went on to have a successful career after being in the minors for a while. Here's Hunter Pence, and he takes low. Well, back in 2002, when Everts was selected in the first round, some of the guys that were part of that draft included B.J. Upton, Adam Lowen, who's now an outfielder for the Mets. He was a pitcher at the time. Zach Greinke. Everts was selected ahead of Greinke out of Houston, Texas. Prince Fielder. Everts was selected ahead of Prince Fielder, too. Am I surprising you with this?
Yeah, you really are.
2-0 the count. The ball's hit well. The center field, but playable for Davis. And there are 2 outs. Matt Cain was selected after Everts. Jeff Francoeur, Joe Blanton.
Big Joe Blanton. Well, you know, when you're selecting players, and especially in the amateur draft, you're projecting. You're thinking a guy's body's going to get a little bit bigger. You know, you're also projecting on what you think that particular player will hit, how many home runs, or his power, and vice versa there too with the pitchers, whether or not they're going to be a relief pitcher, whether or not they're going to be a starter. Sometimes guys are drafted, that's all they want them to be, is just a closer or in the bullpen. Everybody doesn't have quality stuff to be able to start.
Well, out of all the guys that were selected in the first round, all but in that year, all but 9 of them made it to the major leagues. That includes the compensatory picks, too. There's a chopper to third. Vizquel throws out Wigginton. So Everts has a 1-2-3, 6th inning. 6 in the books here at Clearwater. It's 4-1 Toronto.
Look at our game summary. Frenchie's Tiki Bar out there. A little rain delay today, 36 minutes, but now the sun's trying to come back out. Looks like the rain is past. The Toronto Blue Jays have a couple home runs today. Edwin Encarnacion and Say Batista. Ricky Romero 2 innings. Roy Halladay 2 innings. They did not come back after the rain delay, and Hunter Pence has knocked in the only run this afternoon for the Phillies. And we'll check out the home runs. There's Roy Halladay. Looked like he threw a changeup there that was down, and he just hit it out of the ballpark for a home run. Wind was blowing like crazy at that point. And then David Herndon came in, threw some good breaking balls. The first 2 hitters he faced, then threw another one there. And you see Batista, he thought it was foul. Came back fair. And those are the 2 home runs that were hit this afternoon by those 2 guys. And the Toronto Blue Jays haven't had a ton of home runs this springtime, but they've won a lot of games.
Well, now they'll face 23-year-old right-hander Tyler Carnegie, who's up from the minor league camp for the Phillies. Carnegie is from Lewiston, Idaho. He was former 12th round pick by the Phils back in 2010. Last year he spent the year in Lakewood with the Blue Claws, went 4-3 in 43 games at an ERA of 3.32. Just watching that first pitch, we know that he throws pretty hard. It's 1 ball and no strikes to Escobar. Phillies also make some other changes in the field. Lance Nix is the new first baseman, and Lou Montañez is out in right field for the Phillies. 3-0 the count. Carnegie is 6'4", about 220 pounds. And he throws a strike. It's 3-1. I want to talk about a thrill. I mean, this has got to be a thrill to be able to be here and pitch, even if the crowd is scattered a little bit. Off the end of the bat, that'll go to left center field. Mayberry will play it on a hop.
Phillies did this last night over in Tampa. He used a lot of kids they had taken with him, and he said it has to be a kick for them, because normally they're pitching on those fields on the other side of the Tiki Bar. Welcome to Florida. Sun's out, blue skies overhead.
And now Kelly Johnson's the batter. Luis Valbuena is the pinch runner over at first for the Blue Jays. Yeah, the first pitch a strike, and it's 0-1. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Kelly Johnson is 0 for 3. He has struck out 3 times. And it's 2-2. Not a bad spot right there.
That's always been the problem for Kelly Johnson. He's got a lot of power all over the place, but he does strike out a lot.
He'll be followed by John Tolosano, who's in the on-deck circle. Outside, ball 4. So runners on first and second to start the 7th inning. And we'll have a pinch runner for the Blue Jays. Jonathan Diaz will pinch run. So nobody out, top of the 7th. Runners on first and second. You know, a kid like Carnegie, you figure that he's all amped up and he needs to try to compose himself a little bit. It's hard to do. Ryan Schneider keeps that ball around home plate, and it's 1-0.
Yeah, sure. You get into a game like this, and trying to turn it down a notch, and everything about your body, your adrenaline is rushing, and you want to you want to hurry everything. And when you try to make things happen too fast, when you pitch especially, you really get in trouble.
Ground ball towards second. Luna can't get there. It's a base hit. The runners will hold up. They'll go base to base. So the bases are now loaded.
Cheating for a double play there, and a lot of room to hit a ball through, and that's what happened. Routine ground ball, but cheating for the double play. And you see where Luna is, up the middle. And now when the ball goes to his left, he can't get there.
Phillies will still play for 2. Martinez got to it quickly. They'll still play for 2 as Edwin Encarnacion will be the hitter. And that ball's down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Encarnacion 2 for 3. He's reached base 3 times. Homered back in the second. Reached on an error. Singled in the 5th. That ball gets away from Schneider. Kanighi's going to cover, and he is out at the plate. Maybe that'll settle him down a little bit.
Well, Brian Schneider did a nice job with that hop. It came bouncing right off the wall behind home plate, right back to him. He doesn't panic. Kanighi, the pitcher, does what he's supposed to do, and that's cover the plate. See it come bouncing back. So Brian right there, totally under control. And then if you're the pitcher, all you do is you try and put the glove down, hope the guy's coming. And that's what he does right there. Puts the glove down, then you hope you don't get hurt. Get your hand out of there.
So Valbuena is retired. Good job by Schneider. It's 2 balls and no strikes to Encarnacion. In the air to left center field. Scott Pasetnik will hover under it. Runner will tag from third and from second. A runner will score. It's 5-1 Toronto. And there are 2 outs here in the 7th. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph?
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Here with Hunter Pence, who just spent some time with the fans, signing some autographs, wrapping it up here, obviously, at Bright House Field. How ready are you guys to go north and play some games that count?
I think we're pretty ready. Spring training is what it is. It's a lot of fun here in Clearwater, and I think we got enough ABs. Everyone, everything's going, and I think not too many injuries, and we'll be look forward to getting after it.
You in particular, does your body click at one point? You say, all right, I'm ready at this point. My bat is where I want it to be. I feel good.
Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. And baseball's a funny game. Sometimes you feel great and you get out, and sometimes you feel horrible and you get hit. So, the bottom line is just to get, stay strong, stay healthy, get your body used to the everyday, adrenaline, the running around and swinging the bat, and just getting moving and seeing the ball well.
All right, Hunter, thanks a lot. We appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you in Philadelphia, guys.
All right, Murph, thank you very much. There are 2 outs here in the 7th inning, and the batter Eric Thames. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. A runner over at third. And it's ball 3. So 3-0. Wills, who's the greatest major leaguer from Idaho?
Wow.
I should say from who was born in Idaho. There's ball 4. Thames is aboard.
Let's pretend like this is the Dodge. Stump the experts. How about a hint?
Charlie Manuel was very friendly with him. Does that help you?
Oh, Harmon Killebrew.
Harmon Killebrew would be correct. Yeah. That's right.
Good hint. Thank you. Just lost Harmon Killebrew last year, and he and Charlie were great friends.
Runners on first and third. Omar Vizquel takes a strike. Look at Vizquel's spring. 452 this spring. No homers, 3 runs batted in. And he lifts that one to right. Montañez makes the grab, and the side is retired. So Kanighi does allow a run. He leaves 2. It's time to stretch here at Bright House Field with the Phillies down 5-1. PHL 17's two most popular shows are now on back-to-back at brand new times. Wheels, make note of this. Starting Monday, you can see 2.5 Men at 6 and 6:30, followed by Philly's #1 comedy, The Big Bang Theory, at 7 and 7:30. It all starts Monday right here on PHL 17.
Always appreciate your video alerts for me.
Yep.
Thank you.
John Mayberry will lead things off for the Phillies against Clint Everts. And he takes inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Phillies down 5-1.
John Mayberry just needs a good at bat to hit something hard somewhere.
Well, it's now 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Well, like anything else in this world, if you struggle, and he's 0 for his last 19. If you struggle, even if it is just spring training, it's going to play with you a little bit. Hits that one well. Deep to left field. Wheels, he made good contact. A home run for Mayberry, his first of the spring. And the Phillies put their 2nd run on the board.
Watching Charlie with him down the dugout last inning, and he was doing something with his hands. He was trying to pull his hands back a little bit. John was practicing something. I don't know. It looked like he got a little bit of a hanging breaking ball and didn't pull off real badly. So this is the kind, you know, where you could, yeah, it's a hanger. See, he started to pull off, but he kept his body in there a little bit better than he has. There he really put his hands back and got through it. Hits it out of the ballpark. And so I said they were doing something in the dugout with his hands, trying to get him more comfortable.
Hector Luna laces one to left. So back-to-back hits for the Phillies. And Brian Schneider will be the hitter.
You know, just one swing sometimes can change a guy's attitude about things. See, Charlie, you know, he talking because they had a lot of conversation going on last inning when he was getting ready to come into the on-deck circle.
One thing about Charlie, he is loyal. I mean, he'll stick with the guy even if he's struggling through some issues.
Well, he loves to try and teach, and hitting is the thing that he really enjoys talking to somebody about. Plus, he knows he needs that guy. You know, that's not a guy to give up on right now. He needs him.
So that home run, as we mentioned, snaps an 0 for 19.
Yeah, and it was a weak 0 for 19, too. You know, sometimes you can have an 0 for in this business, and you're hitting BBs at people into a lot of bad luck. But that was not the case with John.
Schneider sends one to the air to deep right field. Playable for Talisano. And he makes the catch. Luna went back to tag just to draw the throw. And 1 out for Freddie Galvis. Freddie's 0 for 2 today. Trying to keep the train moving here. Phillies down by 3 here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, last time was one of the few times all year we have all spring training we've seen him not do what he is supposed to do, and he needed to pull a ball his last time up, and he hit a ground ball to short.
There's a ground ball to second. The Blue Jays are going to try to turn 2. No way Vizquel will get it over to Kevin Howard in time. They do get 1. 4-6 on the putout. By the way, the double play combination for the Blue Jays is Valbuena at second and now Vizquel at short.
It's amazing. He's out there playing right now. What a great player Omar Vizquel has been throughout his career.
And Diaz is over at third. Wheels, in case you're scoring at home.
Thank you. Or even here in the booth.
Yeah. Here's Scott Posednik with 2 outs. And he takes a strike. Way inside, Jan Gomes, who's the catcher, makes the play. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Gomes in for J.P. Arancibia. Tough pitch for Pasednik, and it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Come on, up. Get your head in the game. Saying, I'm with you.
Folks are wondering about, the extra outfielder spot, whether Pasednik still has a chance. Juan Pierre's contract was picked up on Friday. We found that out after the ball game. Pasednik still has an option to go down for a certain amount of time to AAA, which that may happen. Little number to the right side. Howard has it, and he'll try to race Pasednik to the bag. Instead applies the tag, and that'll finish up the bottom of the 7th. The Phillies, though, get a run as John Mayberry breaks an 0 for 19 slump. Picks up his first spring trading home run. We go to the 8th. Baseball is brought to you by W.B. Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. Well, we turned the ball game on at the start. We said what a spectacular weather month it's been here in Clearwater. Then it rains, and now the sun is shining brightly once again. So fans are settling back in on their blankets out in the outfield. And it's cooled off a little bit, a little more comfortable than it was earlier today. And as we go to the top of the 8th inning, the Phillies down 5-2. Jordan Whatcott is the new pitcher for the Phils. He's a 26-year-old out of Arizona and the University of Utah. Phillies signed him as a undrafted free agent in 2010 at the age of 25. He was also drafted at one point by the LA Angels of Anaheim back in 2009. And Yan Gomes will lead it off for the Blue Jays. Last year, Whatcott was 4-1 here in Clearwater with a 2.57 ERA. 45 games, he saved 11 ball games. One ball, no strikes, the count to Gomes. And he takes a strike. It's 1-1. Two and one the count. Whatcott became the second player from the University of Utah who was drafted back in 2009 by the LA Angels. He was a second-team All-Mountain West selection. 2-2 the count to Gomes. Second player drafted in 2009 for Utah. He didn't sign. He was the 951st pick, so I guess he figured, well, I'm going to get my degree.
Yeah.
It's fouled away, and it remains 2-2.
Well, this is that time of the spring. You got guys coming over from the complex pitching to 75s.
Ground ball foul past Brian Butterfield in the third base coach's box. Whatcott had said after he was drafted by the Angels that it was a disappointment that he was drafted so late. He said it's tough being 23, 24, and pitching to 18 and 19-year-old college guys. It's totally understandable that I was picked so late. He went on a mission, so that's why it took him so long to finally get selected. Part of his education at the University of Utah. Hey, after the game, John Clark and Mike Missinelli give you a season outlook for this year's Phillies club. Get a breakdown of the team with analysis, interviews, and what to look for as we get closer to opening day. Phillies High Hopes, live from Sugar House Casino, is coming up next.
Be wearing those kind of jackets before we know it, huh?
We may be. Well, it's not supposed to be bad, though, when we get back. I know it's cool today. It's been wet the last 24 hours or so. Rajai Davis takes a strike. It's 1-1. Whatcott Wheels did a mission in Brazil, which is why he was 25 when the Phillies signed him.
That's why when you watch Brigham Young play college football, they have a lot of players on their team that are, in their 20s. Not a lot, but, you'll see guys 22, 23, 24.
Well, he said the mission, the 2 years were the best 2 years of his life, being in Brazil on his mission. Davis holds up, and it's 3-2. Rajai Davis will be an extra outfielder for the Blue Jays this year. They signed him to a free agent contract last year out of the Oakland A's organization. And that just missed low, ball 4. So one out base runner, and here comes Jeff Mathis. Balls hit to center field. Pasetnik got turned around. He gets his bearings, and he can't corral it. Over his head. Davis can run. He's being waved home. Galvis' throw to the plate. There was a hesitation, and he's safe at the plate. Rajai Davis was going around the third base bag, and in all honesty, I think he was looking for Brian Butterfield, and Brian Butterfield was way down the line and over toward the Phillies dugout.
Now he's taking a real good look at it. It was Butterfield, whether or not to hold him up or not. Another ball. This ball's hit right into the sun in dead center field. Pasetnik had trouble with one of these earlier this spring. The toughest ball to get. Now he's watching. See, there's no way he should be watching the ball in that spot. That's the ball's behind him there. He's got to be watching his third base coach, and that's why when he got to third, he didn't know what to do.
I'll be honest with you, Wheels. I looked out. I didn't know where Brian Butterfield was. Right. He was way down the line.
Yeah, and then that, of course, the base runner. Once that ball goes over his head like that, you start looking for your third base coach.
So runner at second, and Valbuena is the hitter. It's 2 balls and no strikes. So Valbuena's numbers for the spring: 6-2 Blue Jays. They have 6 runs on 10 hits. That ball hit well. That's hit a ton. Montañez going back, and he'll just watch it go onto the concourse, and it takes a hop over the fence. A 2-run home run. It's the second one of the spring, and it's 8-2 Blue Jays. Well, Wheels, I think we officially have our longest home run of the spring by a left-hander.
Yeah, that was a good one. Wind's blowing out that way a little bit, and he crushed it. Team ERA's taking a little bit of hit in these last few games where the guys they're bringing over, to try and get some innings so you don't have to use your normal staff. And there it is. As you said, hit the concrete and out there with the Gators. Oh, there's gators out there, but there's a lake.
Jonathan Diaz, the hitter.
There's always be aware of gators when you're in Florida and you see lakes. They love that fresh water.
Maybe we'll take a class trip out there.
No, you go out and play the golf courses out here, and you're going to see gators. Some of these courses. Ask Sarge. He went down there one day. He heard this. He got out of there.
The ball's a liner towards left. Here comes Pierre. He'll make the catch. And there are 2 outs. What are the positives about watching kids like Whatcott and Carnegie during these spring training games? Because if they have success during the regular season, which Whatcott did last year, he was second on the Threshers in saves. You've seen him, and you can talk about him a little bit. That first pitch is high. It's 1-0. John Tolosano is the hitter. He singled his last time up. 2-0 the count.
Thank you.
Blue Jays will be around here in Florida for a couple more days. They play Tuesday at noon, and then they head out to Cleveland. They play at their place. Phillies will be preparing for their second on-deck series game against the Pirates that day. Opposite way, a base hit. Orr was shaded off the line, and Pierre will play it down the left field line. Second hit of the day for Tolleson. And it's the third hit of the inning, given up by Whatcott. And that'll bring Kevin Howard to the plate. Here's Kevin Howard. Last year he played in AAA. 277 with 6 home runs. Played in AAA and in AA last season. Hits that one hard, backhanded by Nix, and the inning comes to a close. The Jays do score 3. A 2-run home run helped their cause. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Phillies down by 6. Well, we haven't had too many clean innings this afternoon for the Phillies. Roy Halladay pitched a 1-2-3 first inning, and then there was a 1-2-3 fourth inning as well. And every time the Phillies would do that, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by the Xfinity HD Triple Play, your complete lineup for digital TV, lightning fast internet, and home phone. 8-2, Blue Jays on top. Oh, it's been all Jays. And the new pitcher is Scott Gracie. 76 innings last year, 5-4, 3.07 earned run average. And Gracie will face Pete Orr and then Jim Thome. Jim came out in the on-deck circle in between innings and got a nice round of applause. They're hanging in there, Wheels. That's funny. He's like, hey, wait a minute. What we got going on here? So Pete Orr will hit for the first time. He takes a strike. It's 0-1.
What's that mean when you're sucking your thumb? Are you hungry?
Hungry, bored, tired. I don't know.
Okay. Thought I'd go to a good source to ask.
Orr lines it to right field. That'll be a base hit. So Pete's aboard. And that'll bring Jim Thome to the plate. This is the round of applause. Some of the loudest applause we've heard this spring have been for Jim Thome. Gracie's a 25-year-old from Albuquerque, 15th round selection back in 2008 by the Blue Jays. 6'2", 190 pounds. Last year, he pitched in Single A and in Lansing and Single A here in Florida for Dunedin. He just broke Jim Thome's bat. They might be able to turn two. Vizquel trying to get it over there, and does, to take care of his former teammate. And there are 2 outs. And that'll bring Lou Montanez to the plate. Montanez has had himself a good spring. Doesn't look like it's going to result in a major league job with the Phillies to start, but he still has hit the ball well. Plus, he's a pleasant guy to be around.
Yeah, and he gives him some depth too at AAA. It was a good signing.
Charlie's liked his the way he's handled himself at the plate.
He played the outfield pretty well too.
Fouled it away. 2-1 the count.
One thing you know when you had a player in spring training, if in fact you need a guy during the spring or during the season, you have a little bit of an idea of what you're getting, opposed to just looking at scouting reports.
On the inside corner, 2-2. Phillies have added a couple of guys the last couple of days. We mentioned Joe Thurston, who's in the dugout right now, was signed to a free agent contract. Check swing. That could be a base hit. We'll see if they let it roll. They're going to let it roll, and it rolls foul. They were awfully close to picking it up.
Yeah, that would have made no sense.
So it remains 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Hard to believe it's the same weather day here.
Yeah.
So bad for a while, and now an unbelievably nice afternoon.
In the dirt, Montanez draws a walk.
Thinking about trying to get this game official at one point. Look how pretty it is now.
say, hey, Twig. Ash, scream into the microphone. You say, hey, Twig.
Stride out the field nicely, too.
Yeah, the pitchers aren't so uncomfortable the way they were for a while, where they had to keep going back and trying to get the clay out of their cleats.
Well, here's Lance Nix. And Nix is down at the count 0-1. Gracie was a college player at the University of Mexico. Takes upstairs 1-1. He was a shortstop. In fact, in 2008, he had .332 as a shortstop. Nix loops it to left, and it's going to drop in. The Phillies have first and second now with 2 outs.
Where is the College of Mexico?
Did I say College of Mexico?
Yeah.
Oh, University of Mexico.
Where is that?
That's a good question.
I mean, it's not in Mexico.
No, I meant New Mexico.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
All right. Oh, no, I just want you to know I'm bearing down.
No, I read an article, and I have the article up now. It says the University of Mexico. We'll have to check that out.
Yeah. I've never heard of.
Yeah. It's got to be New Mexico.
I would
It's
think
wearing
so.
a red uniform.
Okay.
It's a typo in the story.
Well, that'll happen. I've typed a lot of stories with typos.
Yeah, I just Googled the University of Mexico wheels, and guess what? Nothing came up.
Yeah, I'm not saying that there isn't a college we haven't heard of, but never heard of that one.
In the States, so it's
Right.
New Mexico. He's a Lobo.
Yeah.
Juan Pierre loops one to right center field. That'll be a base hit. Montañez will score. Nix goes to third. It's now 8-3. The Phils down by 5. Juan Pierre had himself a heck of a day yesterday, and it's carried over to today.
He had 4 hits last night. He gets a base hit here off Gracie. A fastball right down the middle. He doesn't pull the ball all that much, but he's able to do that. His swing is a swing that has always been geared to hitting the ball the other way. He's late through the zone. Not late, but I mean, he drags the bat through the zone, and he doesn't try to pull the ball all that often, so you don't see that too much.
Murph, you got more on Juan Pierre. What do you have?
Yeah, I was talking to Juan during the rain delay, and I asked him, you guys talked about he found out on Thursday after the game that he would indeed be coming north with the Phils, and I said, hey, do you even have a place to stay yet in Philadelphia? And he laughed. He said, no, not yet. I'll be scrambling when I get up there. I'll probably stay in a hotel with his wife and his 3-month-old baby. And he said, but you know what? That's a good problem to have. You learn in baseball to pack pretty quickly, and he's pretty excited, obviously, to be heading north with the Phils.
I thought you were going to offer him a place at your place, Murph.
He's always welcome. He's a very affable guy, so.
He can do some extra chores with you, too. Here's Hector Luna, and he takes inside. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Luna's 1 for 3. He struck out twice in the 3rd and 4th, and then singled in the 7th. Fouls it away. Luna gets a hit here. Phillies are making it a ball game again.
What's your double-A guy against their double-A guy right now, right?
I don't know. Hector Luna might be a major league guy.
No, I mean the pitchers.
Oh, okay. Here's the 2-1 pitch. There's a strike, 2-2.
Hector Luna's a guy with major league credentials.
Ball came back off the sweep level, and nobody in the lower level turned around and nearly hit somebody right in the head. Fortunately, everybody's okay, and a youngster walked away with the ball. In the dirt. Oh, we have wild pitches all over the place today.
This is not what you call a clean game.
Lance Nix will score. It's an 8-4 game. Up to second goes Juan Pierre. Not much Jan Gomes could do with that. He was trying to keep it in front of him.
Can't wait till Thursday when they really count.
Oh,
the games get a lot cleaner. Here it is, ball bouncing up there, bounces away.
so Pierre's at second base. 3-2 the count. Line drive toward left center field. That'll drop for a base hit. Pierre's going to score easily, and this is a 3-run ball game. Hector Luna with his second hit. Phillies are making it exciting for the fans.
That guy's going to hit some fastballs. That thing looked like it was almost chin high. Doesn't look like it was a strike. No, it was. Look at him get on top of that. Guys like Luna, boy, they love to hit heat. And he got himself a high fastball and nailed it.
Well, we've got a pitching change as Luna is over at first. John Farrell came out. He'll make the switch. The Blue Jays lead is down to 3. It's 8-5. Jays on top here in the bottom of the 8th inning. With 2 outs, we've got a pitching change, and the Phils have a runner over at first. With 5 runs on 11 hits and 1 error, the Jays 8-12-0. The Phillies have scored a couple. They've scored 3 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And they have forced another pitching change for the Blue Jays. And it's Robert Coelho, who this spring in 7 games, no wins, no losses, a 2.57 ERA. He has 2 saves. He pitched in Boston in 2010. Wheels, he's a Jersey guy.
Where from?
He's from Bayonne, New Jersey. I have a number of family members that live in Bayonne, New Jersey. And he's on to face Brian Schneider. Played for the Cubs last year. Signed a minor league contract with the Blue Jays in December. And the first pitch is over for a strike. It's 0-1. Coelho was born in Bayonne, grew up here in Florida. Schneider takes a strike, and it's 0-2. Now 27 years old.
Throwing a lot of fastballs since he's come into the game.
Had a lot of decisions last year. He was 6-6 in AAA. 30 games, 11 starts. And a breaking ball and a called strike 3. Boy, he really locked Brian Schneider. The Phillies scored 3 here in the 8th. They leave 1. We go to the 9th. It's 8-5 Jays. Well, you see the line score. It's been an up and down game. There was a 36-minute rain delay. It rained throughout the middle part of this ball game. We go to the top of the 9th. It's an 8-5 game. During the course of this game, though, we've watched a lot of the young pitchers come in for the Phils from their farm system. And now we have another one, 22-year-old Juan Sosa, who last year pitched down here in Clearwater and also in Lakewood. He pitched in 47 games overall. He had 11 combined saves. Kid throws hard. 61 strikeouts in 71 innings last year. He is from Santo Domingo, the Dominican Republic. And he'll come on here to pitch the 9th inning. This has been going on all day. I mean, this in stops and starts, it's been going on. You know, Mayberry is listening, and he keeps pointing back to certain guys, like he's talking to Gigi. He had Jim Thome as part of the conversation at one point.
All about hitting.
It's also about clearing his mind. Not Charlie's, but John Mayberry's mind.
So we were talking last time when he was up. Maybe he gets one good swing, he could help him a little bit. You know, he wound up getting a hanging breaking ball hit out of the ballpark.
Sosa delivers the strike. It's 0-1. Ricardo Nanita is the hitter. His numbers were very good last year in the minor leagues. He fouls it away. Oh, no balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. He got him. Well, here we go. Wheels, our W.B. Mason delivery of the game. It was what we just talked about.
Talking about that home run that John Mayberry Tom said an 0 for 19. He got that hanger right there, and he pulled off it a little bit, but still stayed in there better than he has been and hit the ball out of the ballpark. A lot of talking during the game, and they need this guy. And, you know, he's really struggling. It gets between your ears like that, it could be a problem.
And it does during everybody's career, whether it be American Legion, high school, college. It gets in your head sometimes.
Everybody has their own opinion, but can't imagine many things harder in sports to do than hit a baseball.
Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Just giving some numbers about Sosa. He didn't get to the States until 2010. When at 20 years old, he pitched in Williamsport. He spent 2 years in the Dominican Summer League for the Phils. But just by watching him without a radar gun, without anything, I mean, the ball jumps.
I tell you what, he puts a lot of effort into it.
Sure does.
He's all arm.
Time is called as a seagull flew into the sight of Omar Vizquel.
Now, of course, you'd like to see, if he can throw something else up there, like right now with 2 strikes, like a changeup.
To right field, Montañez. He's having trouble with it. Now he sees it. Makes the catch for the second out. So 2 away. Yan Gomes will be the hitter. Sosa's not a big guy. He's listed at 6'2", 195 pounds. It's funny looking at some of the minor league pitchers' stats. And you look down to their hitting, and none of them, like Sosa's never hit. He's never had a plate appearance. That will change as he progresses through the system, and he plays, at different levels.
Just watching Brian Schneider has him throwing fastball after fastball here. Now there's a breaking ball, kind of a slurve. Got a called strike on it. Most guys like this are going to throw breaking balls to right-handed hitters, change up to left-handed hitters.
Got him.
That was a change-up.
Yep. Side is retired in order. Rather impressive debut for Sosa here on the big field. Phillies get one more chance. I don't know about you, Wheels, but I enjoyed that. I thought he threw very well. I thought he had some command, and he had some velocity on it.
Well, he threw a breaking ball and a changeup too. You know, which it's just so hard to tell how hard guys are throwing now. Until they start to see the gun or see them out there.
Well, there are the 3 youngsters that have thrown today, in order, and all 3 got a chance to experience the big field. And the last one, Juan Sosa, who's the nearest to you, he's putting the gum in his mouth. He has a live arm. And the other thing, too, is if you think about the Phillies from a prospect standpoint, they've got some pitching. I mean, they've got pitching throughout the system. Now, will they all pan out to be major leaguers? Who knows?
Yeah, some of their AAA clubs this year could be very interesting. Reading, for one, with some of those young kids that are coming along. And, some of them relievers, some of them starters. But pitching's a great way to go. And they understand that, and you hear people in the minor league system say, now they're trying to draft and add more position players.
Right. Well, this is the final at bat for the Phillies, unless they tie it, and their final chance to play here at Bright House Field this spring. And as we mentioned during the outset, this is our 66th year here in Clearwater. Not every year, obviously, has been here at Bright House Field. Jack Russell before that. But the folks here have done such a great job. John Timberlake and all of the people that work for the Threshers. Now, their season will begin later on this week. But they have been tremendous hosts, as always, for all of us and for everybody else that's come down here to Clearwater, as Galvis is rung up.
Well, they do a great job with a minor league facility, making it a major league experience for people who come down here, because it's a first-class operation that John and his people are running. We're lucky enough to just be hanging out with them for a few weeks, and it's a pleasure.
Well, they're good folks. I mean, they're kind of a branch of the Phillies, of course, and you know, there's no doubt that the Phillies way has easily trickled down here to Clearwater.
Well, this is the franchise, of course, that they own. You know, this is the Phillies team, and great relationship with the city of Clearwater too over the years, where teams have been moving all over the place in Florida and Arizona. This has been a very stable situation here.
And the naming rights of this ballpark, Bright House Field, will continue, as it was announced the other day, for the next few years. Scott Posebnik loops it to left, and he's just been robbed of a hit. That was a heck of a play by Nanita. Now there are 2 outs.
They got a good jump on that ball. You know, when you're a left fielder and a left-handed hitter up to their offside, you cheat in a little bit, play shallow, and then if you can read the ball off the bat right away, you can make that kind of play.
So 2 away. TOR is the batter. Pete is 1 for 1 today. Shows bunt. And that ball is in the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes. We will not have any other information probably for another day or 2 on the rest of the roster spots. I think a lot of it depends on, you know, how guys feel out of the bullpen, whether it be Michael Stutz and Jose Contreras, guys like that.
Well, they don't have to have the roster set until what, Wednesday or Thursday?
Yeah, right before they take on the Pirates. Right?
So if you've got some guys with you know, like Stutz with a little bit of physical problem, and they give that youngster the ball, you add old Stu, and that's always a good idea. They have time to let him pitch down here a little bit and find out.
1 ball, 2 strikes, the count to TOR. On the hands, this might do it. Backing up is Diaz. Tough play, makes the catch, and the ball game and our spring schedule down here in Florida at Bright House Field has come to a close. The final score, it's the Blue Jays 8 and the Phillies 5. A 36-minute rain delay. They were able to get the whole game in. Phillies lose it by 3. 1 more game against the Braves tomorrow. We'll be back to wrap it up after this.